All right. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. So, hello everyone. My name is Connie C. Walcott, and I am currently living and teaching in the Middle East, Kuwait to be exact. Now, I have been sharing my experiences with you as to how you can gain teaching jobs abroad, not just in Kuwait, because not everyone might be interested in teaching, living and teaching in Kuwait, but I'm also trying to provide information for you as it relates to other countries. And so I will be having a guest for this live, right? She will be joining us from China. She will be joining us from China, all the way in China, right? Which is way further than the Middle East, actually, right? And so she will be coming to share her experience with us. She will be sharing her experiences with us. She will be telling you all that you need to know about finding teaching jobs in China. But one of the things that you must note, and you will learn this while I'm doing the interview, one of the things you must note is that, guess what? If you don't have a bachelor's of education degree and you want to teach in China, you want to teach English in China, you can do it. So while with Kuwait, for most schools, you have to have a bachelor's of education degree. If you want to teach English in China, you can do so with any degree that you have, with whatever major and whatever minor, right? So that's definitely something for you to think about. So if you're not originally a teacher, or if you don't have a bachelor's of education degree and you want to teach abroad, China is a very good place to do that. Welcome, 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 everyone. Hi, Latanya. Welcome. It's good to have you all here, right? Our guest will be joining us soon. So, if you are interested in teaching, living and teaching in China, right? This live is definitely for you. Hello, Francine. Hi, welcome. Give this live stream a thumbs up, share it, and invite all your friends to come and watch and subscribe. So this live is not only for teachers, as I was saying before. So if you have a regular bachelor's degree and it's not an education degree, you can teach in China. You can teach English in China, right? And as soon as Akiellia comes on, she will be sharing all of this information with us, right? So in the meantime, right, in the meantime, I just want to give you a little bit of information about this whole living and teaching abroad experience. All right. So, firstly, a lot of persons have been contacting me and they have been asking a lot of questions. A lot of persons are intrigued by Kuwait, especially, and a number of persons want to come to Kuwait to teach, right? But you have to know that it won't happen by squinting your eyes. No, guys, I had to apply for weeks, maybe months, sit around the computer apply to different schools, sign up for different websites. This is how I come to know which ones are legit and which ones actually work and which ones will get response from, right? Hello, Antoinette. Welcome. This is how I come to know all of this information because I've gone through the entire process actually twice, right? Because for my second job, for this job that I am doing now, I had to go through basically the same process of applying and doing interviews and all of that stuff. So, this is how I come to know all of this information, right? And so it is not going to be easy, but you have to be consistent. You have to decide that, listen, this is what I want and this is what I want to do. All right, so I'm going to check up on my guest in a minute. I'm going to check up on her and get her to come on. All right, I am back. She was having some issues with the link. So I am just waiting on her to hop in right now. Just bear with us a few minutes, right? She's in China, I am in Kuwait. So it took a lot to actually finally decide on a time for this live, right? Because China she's here now. China is 13 hours ahead of Jamaica, and Kuwait is 8 hours ahead of Jamaica. So that means she's 5 hours ahead of me. So it's 3 a.m. in Kuwait right now. I don't know if you can hear the call for prayer, and it's 8 a.m. Friday morning in China. So you see, guys, we had to do a lot. All right. All right. She is here with us. Mm. All right, guys. She is having some issues. Um, she's having some issues to join the live, right? Because a lot of things are blocked in China, so I'm not sure if that's the reason why she's having an issue to join the live. She says she's being blocked from it and she's unable to join. Whew, so another roadblock after planning for weeks, another roadblock. But she's going to come and join us nonetheless, right? If I can't get her to join the live as a guest, right? If I can't get her to join the live as a guest, then I'll just tell her to come on and then you can ask your questions and she will answer from the comments. Now, in the meantime, she is going to refresh and try to see if she can join again. But in the meantime, let me read her introduction and then we can get into the questions. All right. She is in the room. I'm seeing her now. Yay! I am seeing her now. All right. Akiellia, can you hear me? I am. You're hearing me, but I am not hearing you. I am not hearing you. So maybe try to see if you can get your mic on. Can someone in the comment tell me if you're hearing her or if you're seeing her? Please. All right. Well, yeah. Mic is okay. It says you're okay, so I'm not sure. All right, so okay, you're not. All right, so um Akiellia, do you see an option to join the live? Is it telling you, do you see an option to join the live? Because I am the only one seeing you. I'm the only one seeing you and hearing. So do you see an option to actually, because it seems as though you're in the studio but not actually on the live. So see if you can, I think there's an option there where you have to click to actually joining to the live. Okay, that was my camera. All right. I'm still not seeing her on the live. She's in the she's I can see her. I can see her, but I'm not sure why you are unable to see her. I'm not sure why you're unable to see her. All right, so we're trying to sort this out, guys. Sorry for the delay. Oh my God. And you know, I actually did a test run. I did a test run with someone else. But what I should have done, I should have done a test run with her to see how we can sort it out. That's what I should have done. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead with the introduction. So Akiellia attended the University of Technology, where she majored in general management and minored in marketing. She is currently an ESL teacher who has been teaching in China since 2018. She dedicates her time trying to establish growth in all aspects of her life, and as a result, she tailors her energy in trying to establish business opportunities. Akiellia is the founder of Student Global Financing, which provides loans to tertiary students who lack financing for the J1 program. Students Global Financing is currently undergoing the process of rebranding. She also manages an online business called Slick Chick Treasures, which provide females apparels, right? And she also has a YouTube channel, and I will definitely leave the links below. All right. She is still coming on, right? She's still coming on. All right, so she's going to join again in a few seconds. All right, she's here. Um, so I need to add her to the stream.
Now I am here, I think. Are you guys seeing me?
Oh my God, Akiellia, yes, we're seeing and hearing. Let us know in the comments now if you are seeing and hearing her, guys.
Oh,
All
wow.
this time, it was my fault. All
Oh,
this
my.
time,
That's okay. It's a
oh
learning process.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. All this time, I am the one who was supposed to let you in. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. Oh my
That's
God,
fine.
I must apologize
Oh,
to
let me
you.
turn it
Sorry
on this.
for, sorry for the misunderstanding.
That's
Um,
fine.
oh my God. But it's glad to have you here. It's glad, I mean, we have been speaking over Instagram. I was going
Yeah.
to say it's glad to finally see you face to face, although we are not technically face to face, but you
Yes.
know, to be communicating in this forum, it's glad to finally to be able to see you like this, right? So
I know, right?
I already read your introduction because I
Oh,
was trying to buy some time, but I think I'm going to read it again because I mean since you're here, so that while I'm reading, everybody can put everything into um one view, right? So I'm gonna go again with the introduction. So Akiellia Dwyer attended the University of Technology, where she majored in general management and minored in marketing. She is currently an ESL teacher who has been teaching in China since 2018. She dedicates her time trying to establish growth in all aspects of her life, and as a result, she tailors her energy in trying to establish business opportunities. Akiellia is the founder of Student Global Financing, which provides loans to tertiary students who lack financing for the J1 program. Students Global Financing is currently undergoing the process of rebranding. She also manages an online business called Slick Chick Treasures, which provides female apparels. And I know you also have a YouTube
channel.
channel.
Yes, I
Oh,
recently ventured there, or here,
yes.
rather.
What's the name of your channel?
My channel is Keely's World. That's Kiellies apostrophe S World.
All right,
Yes.
awesome. I will definitely leave the link to your
Thank
YouTube
you.
channel right in the description, right? So that others can go over and subscribe to Keely's World and show her some love over there, of
Thank
course.
you.
All right, so we have lost some time, so I'm just gonna get right into it. All right.
Sure.
So my first question to you is, what made you want to teach abroad and why China? Any specific reason why you chose China?
Well, what made me want to teach abroad? Okay, so for me personally, it wasn't really a decision where, okay, I wanted to definitely teach abroad. I was really just searching for an opportunity because at the end of the day, things were not going exactly how I planned it in Jamaica. So I was really just searching for an opportunity. And for this, and it's funny because for this particular opportunity, I wasn't really the one that went searching for it. My brother was the one that actually introduced it to me. And when I saw it, I did not hesitate to take on this venture because immediately when I thought about the opportunity, when I saw the remuneration package, when I saw everything, when I realized that, okay, this is China. China is basically the manufacturing hub. And for persons who know me, they will say that, okay, I'm the type of person, I love business opportunities. So when it comes to buy and sell, that's really me. So immediately when I thought about all of that, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going on to this. And then student loan had to be paid. And what I was working in Jamaica was not sufficient to help me to do that. So I was like, listen, I am definitely taking on this venture. So hence the reason why I am actually here right now and teaching in China.
Awesome.
Oh,
I can definitely
sorry.
relate to that. Go ahead.
All right. So I must also say though, I actually did went searching for the opportunity of teaching in Japan. However, that was not successful. So that also contributed to why I'm actually here. So I always say to people, is not necessarily me choosing it, but more like God choosing this path for me.
I totally understand what you're saying, and I can definitely relate to that. Thank you so much. I see someone in the comments saying no to both. So is it that you're still not hearing us or still not hearing? Let us know, please, because I'm seeing and hearing her clearly. So if you are not, please let us know. All right. In the meantime, our next question is what company or program did you use to sign up for jobs in China, and what were the requirements?
Okay, so all right, so I wouldn't say it was a company, it was an individual agent. So basically, an individual agent by the name of Richard Wang or Yang, I don't remember his last name. So he visited Jamaica. So what he did, he started marketing himself at the various universities. So my brother who was attending the university at the time, he basically got a flyer from the recruiting agency over by University of Technology, and it was through Richard that I came to China.
Okay.
However, there are a lot of different companies going out there now, or different agencies that persons can actually
Mm.
go with. I'm not really familiar with the names, but definitely you can go on LinkedIn. If it is that you need an agent link, you can definitely reach out to me as well, because I don't think it's like Interact where, okay, there are companies out there that are really being established to say, okay, we're recruiting for China. I may be wrong. I think previously I saw some flyers where there were agencies advertising, but to be honest, I'm not familiar with the names. I can definitely look it up and persons can reach out to me to get the answer, but thus far, I'm not aware of a company, but you can certainly reach out to me for an agent name.
Okay, all right, awesome. So what I'm getting is that you can you can recommend an agent, but not
Yeah.
necessarily an agency. Okay, definitely understand that. All right. So what were the requirements? What
All right.
documentations you needed or stuff like that?
Okay, so in regards to coming to China, the first thing that you want to do is ensure that you have a bachelor's degree. So your bachelor's degree does not necessarily have to be in education, it can be in any discipline. Now, once it is that you have your bachelor's degree, that's the first step for you. Now, once you have your bachelor's degree, they would recommend that you have a TEFL certificate. Now, a TEFL certificate is basically to state that, okay, you are qualified to teach English as a second language to any country. Now, once you have that, then what you need to do is ensure that you go and get your non-criminal record. You will also need to authenticate your non-criminal record along with your degree, because they want to ensure that your degree is
Yeah.
legit. They don't want to know that, okay, you purchased it or whatever the case may be. They want to ensure that it's legit. So you need to get those. Once it is that you have those, then those are basically what you need in order for you to come to China.
Okay, so
So just
just
a
basically,
bachelor's degree,
and your
yes,
police record, and
police record,
then you'll have to get those things authenticated. Um,
definitely.
all right. So those are the two. So what about experience in terms of experience teaching? You don't really need to have teaching experience.
No, you don't necessarily need it. It may play in your favor, but you don't need to have teaching experience, because coming to China, I didn't have any experience at all.
Okay.
All I did was watch little videos, along with the TEFL certificate that helped me in regards to how it is that I'm going to proceed in the classroom, what are the strategies that I'm going to need,
Okay.
and what to expect. In addition to that, because I was working with an agency, they would from time to time have different training seminars. So with that, I was able to be basically learn how to go ahead and basically structure myself in the classroom.
All right. So
So
they will give you some form of training.
yes. However, it depends. You may not land yourself a position in an agency where they do weekly trainings, but it's nothing difficult. It's not nothing difficult. You just want to ensure that, Connie, you're also in the industry, so you know what it's like. So kids, they do not know the language, so you want to ensure that you do a lot of games, you show pictures and stuff like that. So once you're able to do that, then you are fine.
Awesome, awesome. So when it comes on to ESL, they give you like a ESL training, or you can, or do you need like an ESL certificate or something like that?
Well, so that is where the TEFL certificate comes in,
Oh,
because the TEFL
yes.
certificate is basically saying, okay, you are qualified, you get a test, and then you are awarded with the certificate to say, okay, you went through the course to know exactly what to do, how it is that you go about teaching from the minors to the adults. So it really depends on the what you learn during the course.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So what are some of the benefits of teaching in China, such as how is it, or if you don't mind saying like an example of what the salary range is like for teachers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I think it's really out there. No, the
Yeah.
benefits, it's very good. For me, again, that can be relative. So, in regards to the benefits, you will get made. It depends on your school. There are many factors that may determine whether or not what benefits you receive. What's your remuneration package like? Now, if you're in a top tier city, you know that the salary may be high, but then again, you have to take into consideration that the expenses may also be high.
Mhm.
So for the benefits, it may look something like, okay, you may get, currently, because of the old pandemic, the salary has increased. So you may get probably 200, over 200,000. You also may get an apartment, or it could be where they provide you with an apartment allowance. You will also get insurance as well. It depends on your salary. Well, not necessarily your salary. It depends on your school, or if you're with an agency, because it is possible that you may get full salary for summer and winter, or it may be where you get half for summer and winter, as well as you could also get probably 3,000 RMB, which that would actually be about 60 something thousand Jamaican dollars. So it really depends on your contract. It really depends on many factors in regards to what you get. So what you would need to do is do your research to see, okay, based on the city that I will be placed, is this sufficient? Is this something that you can be able to work with? So the ranges are from 200,000 upwards.
And that's
For some,
200,000 RND. That's the currency.
oh no, so the currency is RMB. So you may get like probably a 12,000 RMB, which would equate to about maybe 250 or something like that. They're about Jamaican dollars. Plus, you have the apartment, as I mentioned. You get insurance. You get, another thing is that you get your flight allowance back. So based on your contract, you may get half when you arrive. You may get it at the ending of one semester, or you may get it once you have completed your year at the school. Also, you get free lunch at the school. So it's up to you if it is that you want to dine at the school, or if it is that you want to eat out. So those are really the benefits.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Welcome to those who are just joining. Hi, Kerry. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am here with Akiellia, and she is currently sharing with us about teaching in China. All right. Next question. What is the cost of living like? I know you touched on it a little bit, but just a little bit more about what the cost of living is like. Well, basically in your city or where you're living currently.
Okay, so the cost of living, I am currently in Shenzhen, right? So the cost of living here in Shenzhen is, I would say, it's a bit high compared to other cities. Now, okay, so for an apartment, no, I was living in a very small apartment, a studio apartment, very small, nothing compared to studios in Jamaica, smaller than that. So I was paying 2,500, I think, for that apartment, RMB. No, in Jamaican, that would be 50 something thousand for a very small unit. So it really is high compared to other cities. So if it is that, let me just say that Shenzhen is a very nice city, nice for foreigners. A lot of Jamaicans are here. So if it is that you want to be in a location where you want to have our to have Western people, or if it is that you want Western amenities and facilities, then Shenzhen is definitely one of those places that you can be. But you have to take into consideration that the cost of living may not be is not is not that as low. Right now, I am actually in a two-bedroom. So it really also depends on the area in Shenzhen that you are, because right now I am in Guangming, which is not really a developed city or district rather in Shenzhen. So the cost of living here would be lower as opposed to districts such as Futian, districts such as Futian, Longwan, and places like those.
Awesome.
So
All right,
I
so
would say it is high.
it's high. All right, so what about food? What's the food like in China?
Well, the food, all right. So let me touch on the pricing. No, um, it's definitely cheaper because when I go to the supermarkets, I can definitely get a lot more than what I would get back home. But um, but at the end of the day, when you look at it in RMB, it's a bit pricey in this city. Now, as it relates to the food overall, eating the food, now I try to, because I cook, so I try to basically just stick to what I cook. The only time that I really go out and indulge in Chinese food is if it is that I may go out with my Chinese friends, or if it's a case where I may dine at school. But to be honest, there are really some nice Chinese food here. I've not really tried all of them, but the few that I have tried, they're very delicious. Different, but delicious.
Yeah, I think Chinese cuisine overall is not that bad.
Yes.
Overall, a little bit. All right. All right. Next question. What do you do for fun while you're living in China? So, a regular, maybe on a holiday or on a weekend when you're not working, what's there to do for fun?
Okay, so well, there are a lot of things here to do, to be honest. Recently I went to the glass bridge. Well, not recently, but last year sometime I went to the glass bridge. That was a very exciting experience.
You crossed it?
Yes, I crossed it. I actually have a video of it on my YouTube channel. So for
Oh,
those
yeah.
of you who are interested, you can definitely go ahead and have a look. Also, I have the benefits of teaching and living in China on my YouTube channel. But anyhow, so you can go bowling. So you definitely can do that. You can go to the beach. You basically everything that you can do and more in Jamaica and also in the United States. You can do it here. So I would go bowling. I may go on a little trip. I may go on a cultural experience. I may go sightseeing. So those are some things to a park. So those are some really great places that you can be once you're in China. And then it depends on where exactly you are.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right. All right. So Q&A is coming up shortly. So if you have questions, you can think about them because I'm going to ask my last question to
Oh,
Akiellia.
okay.
Yes, because I wanted to keep it short so I didn't fear a lot of questions. Would you recommend teaching and living in China to others? Is it something that you would encourage others to do?
Okay, now, if you had asked me this question like in 2018 when I just got here, without a doubt, I would say yes, I would. But let me say this. Before I even say anything, I have to say you have to know. I would say persons need to know who they are before they can decide whether or not this is something for them. Because while I may recommend it, it could be where you're a person where your tolerance level is not as high, because there are challenges here. It's not a bed of roses. It's not all that glitters is not gold. So you have to really think about it. Okay, there's going to be times when you probably language barrier. You may want to communicate with someone, and it's going to be frustrating, because even when you use Google Translator, it's going to come off as something is not what is meant is not is what is said. So that can be frustrating, especially when you want to conduct businesses. Now, another thing is that you may be placed in an area that there are no foreigners. Can you manage to be by yourself? It can be depressing, it can be stressful at times. So how can you cope? Do you think you can be able to cope in such an environment? The pandemic as well came. Now, a lot of people wanted to go back home and didn't get the chance to go back home. How long are you able to stay away from your family? So those are some questions you need to ask yourself first before you decide, okay, is this really for me? Remember, it's not like the US or Florida where you can just jump in a plane and you're immediately in
Oh,
Jamaica, or you're close to family and friends. No, it's
yeah.
we are so far away. So I mean, when I came here, I stayed in the plane for like 15 hours, and that does not include
Wow.
my journey from. Yes, that does not include my journey from Jamaica to the US. So those are things that you need to take into consideration. But if it is that you have thought about all of those and you're saying, yes, I can do this, then definitely I would recommend it. I would recommend it. And for me personally, I think coming to China is one of, if not the most important, the best decision I've ever made in my life, to be honest.
I can honestly relate. I always say to persons, as I said in the last session, it's not all a bed of roses. It's all about what you are able to tolerate, and it's all about you as an individual, right? So
Exactly.
I said my experience might not be so bad, but then it might be horrible to someone else. So it's all about
Exactly.
you and what you're willing to do, where you're willing to go, and how much you
Definitely.
are able to tolerate. Because I can tell you, when the pandemic came, I was unable to go home for a year, a little bit
Yes,
over a year, and especially if you have kids or if you have a spouse in Jamaica, um,
definitely.
gonna be difficult. It's gonna be very difficult. So you have to put those things into consideration for real.
Exactly.
Now
And I
there's
haven't even been back since 2018. So, I'm here thinking, oh my, when the pandemic came, I was like, okay, should I go home? But then I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to go home and risk, giving them the virus, So those were
yes,
some things that came to mind. And
yes,
I
yes.
just decided to stay. So can you imagine? Luckily, I'm able to
Wow.
cope, and thank God for technology where I'm able to call them, video call and stuff like that. So without all
Yeah,
of those mechanism, I don't know how I would manage. And
yeah.
also friends here as well.
Yes, that is so true. That's so true. So you haven't been home since 2018. Wow.
Yes, happens.
I don't know if I could have done that. But my first year when I came to Kuwait in 20, I started Kuwait in 2018 as well. I stayed
Okay.
for the entire year, so I didn't go home until 2019. And then I went home for the summer, and then I came back. And then I think, well, the pandemic was, so I went home in 2020, and then when I was supposed to go back home, the pandemic came, so I stayed another year. So I basically, of my 3 years, 2 years I did not go home, so I only got the chance to go home 1 year. All right, so there's one question here. I'm just going to take a few questions because I know you have to go. So I'm just going to take a few questions. Um, and then we will allow you to go. All right. So Latanya asked, how is the workload in the classroom there in China comparing to Jamaica classroom?
Okay, so all right. So in regards to the workload, I would say I've never really been in the I've never taught in the Jamaican classroom, but I mean have been there, but so I know. But I would say it is much easier. I think it is. I'm not sure if others may say differently. That's really just my experience. So I think it's easier because in when you go into the classroom, because it's advanced, you use a smart board. What you do is you, and it also depends on the level and what's your main aim is. Let me put that in. Now once you're in the class, it's 40 minutes. Now the first probably 5 or 10 minutes you may want to do like warm-up activities, get them to sing, dance, clap, me ask them how is the weather, how are you, and basically simple conversational questions. Now after the 10 minutes, then you want to introduce what it is that you're teaching, whether you're talking about animals, if you're talking about the weather, the season. So you want to ensure that they have the words, they are able to pronunciate the words. And then after probably about 10 minutes, that's already 20 minutes out of the 40 minutes, right? Now, the next you want to do is you want to ensure that they practice, okay, what is this, or how is the weather, or what animal is this, and basically stuff like that. So it's pretty easy. So that's basically like another 10 minutes. So in total, that's 30 minutes. And then for the next 10 minutes is basically like reviews. And then because I do a reward system where I basically separate the classes, put them in teams. So whichever team is the winner, I will award them with maybe stickers or candies or whatever it is that I may feel to award them. So, and there, the 40 minutes is up before you know it. And I'm not
Okay.
sure, it really depends on the school that you are at, because it could be where after that one class, you have another and then another, you may have back to back classes, but not all schools are like that. The
So
school that I am,
are they strict on lesson planning and stuff like that? Do you have to be submitting lesson plans every minute and stuff like that?
well, it really does depend on the school that you're with, or if you're with an agency. My previous schools, I had to submit my lesson plans. Here, it's the workload is a bit more, so I don't necessarily have to focus on preparing the lesson plans as long as when I am at class, I am prepared for my classes.
Okay, and do you have to like mark exams at the end and stuff like that? No. All right, so that's definitely a plus.
Yes,
All
definitely.
right.
But for me, just to say, for me, it's for me. Others may encounter it. So if it really does depend on whether
On
you
the
are at an international school, because at an international school or maybe some public schools, they may want you to do that. So it really depends on what you are expected to do, your roles and responsibilities.
Yeah. All right. Antoinette is asking if persons can travel to China now currently, and if so, what are the conditions? So, for
Well,
example, Kuwait, a lot of countries are still banned. A lot of persons can't get into Kuwait or leave Kuwait right now. So, what's the condition like in China?
okay, so currently I think we still have like restrictions in regards to traveling to China. I think for persons who are processing like their teaching visa, they will need a PU letter, basically a letter from the government to say okay that you can enter China. So that is really difficult to obtain. So a lot of people are still being stuck. Um, it is possible. I think the last article I saw was where persons can enter, but they may have to be inoculated with the Chinese vaccine. Do not quote me on that. I don't know if that's still the policy, but that's the last policy that's the last article I saw in regards to coming to China.
I think I read that somewhere in the media as well. So basically, even if you're coming to teach, you need a Chinese vaccine. Basically, well,
Yeah.
as you said, I should quote you, but I think
Yeah,
I
but
saw.
I think that's what I read the last time. It has to be where you have the Chinese vaccine so you can enter, or it will make the process smoother for you, rather.
Okay, all right, and what? Because I know I heard something like what? When does the school year start in China, though? So if I'm thinking about coming to China to teach, like when is the best time to apply? Is it all year round or there's a specific period?
I think it's all year round, to be honest, because even because you have instances where you may have a particular teacher sign. Let's say I arrive here in October, so that means I will have a 1 year. That means I will have like a 1 year contract if I don't renew. So I would be leaving in October. So persons or schools may be recruiting for that to fill that particular position. So it really doesn't matter. I think you are able to apply all year round.
All year round. And if you decide not to renew your contract with a school, can you make the decision to move to another school, or would you have to do it through the agency?
Oh no, definitely. You can make the decision to relocate because I've been here since 2018, and each year I've been changing schools.
Okay, each year. And there was a question in my head, but it seemed as though it slipped me. It slipped me for a minute. All right, so Shani is asking, are you able to save a lot, or would you have to take on an additional job?
Okay. So that's a very good question, Sashani. No, in regards to save a lot, yes, you definitely can save a lot being here without having to take on additional um, jobs. No, you know Jamaicans, right? Just to put it out there, it's not legal or it's not advisable for you to take on additional jobs here. But again, as I said, you know Jamaicans, and it's not just necessarily Jamaicans too. You do have foreigners here who are taking on additional jobs. And saving a lot is relative. So how much would you consider has been a lot? Because for me, I do save a lot. You are able to save over 100,000, over 200,000 per month if it is that you manage your finances.
Yeah. All right, definitely. Is there any issues? Do you have any issues in China in terms of like racism? I always hear persons complain that, they look at black people weird and but in China, I don't
Well,
know in your city
right.
or go
Okay,
ahead.
so yes, we have issues as it relates to that. I don't know if it's a case where, okay, they will just look at us weird because they're like, oh, she's black, or she's just a foreigner. For some of them, it may be that, okay, wow, it's the first I'm really seeing a foreigner. Like, oftentimes I go on the road and all they do is stare at my hair. They're wondering, is her hair real? They would probably touch it, so they're really fascinated, they're curious. I would say some of them are curious, but also too, you do have those who will say, okay, then let's say we're job hunting. One of the most difficult times for me is when I'm hunting for a job, because you will see an advertisement for a job for, let's say, 26,000 RMB, but then immediately when you reach out to that particular recruiter, the moment that they realize that you're of a particular skin color, they're like, okay, let me give this person 18. Let me give this person 15. So immediately you get the sense that, okay, they want a different shade. You understand? So we do face it here, especially when we're job hunting. I don't know if it is that they feel like, okay, because of our skin, we don't speak English. I really don't know, because I honestly don't know. For most, and it's just so puzzling because most of them are studying to go abroad. What do you expect? I don't know
Yeah.
if they expect to see only whites, but we definitely do face it here. For me personally, it has never been a case where I'm crying because, or I feel disheartened because of such experience, but it does happen.
Awesome. All right. And in terms of taking on an additional job,
Mm-hmm.
right, I know. So for here in Kuwait, it's kind of like the same thing. They will advise you not to, but if you
Yeah.
can get something to do after school, you might do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing with so what are the work hours like for your job, your major job? What are the work hours? What time do you go to work? What time do you leave?
Okay, so for me, all right, at my previous schools, at my previous school, I had to arrive like about 8:30, and then I could leave like 4:30.
Okay.
No, at this school, so at those schools, I had office hours. Now, office hours would mean, okay, you don't have class, but you still need to be at school. That's
Okay.
different here. At this particular school, I don't have office hours. So if it's a case like no, I don't have class. My first class is going to be at 9:20. So I am not penalized, nor there is not any negative effect or that will happen if it is that I go like 10 minutes to, as long as I am early for my class. That's not the same with everyone, but
Yeah.
currently that's just the position I'm in right now.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, this is the time to ask. We're about to wrap up right now. All right, so I just have one last question. In terms, what's the dress code, both for work or if you're not working? Is it like, yeah, what's the dress code like?
All right, so well, for if you're not working, there is really no dress code. You just dress according to how you feel, or maybe dress according to the weather. But as it relates to school, I don't really know if it is that there is any particular dress code. I guess knowing me, I've seen teachers, there are Chinese teachers who wear shorts to school,
Cool.
so that's really a culture thing here. They wear shorts, but for me, I'm not going to see them in shorts and be like, okay, I'm going to wear shorts. I'm not going to dress casually. I'm just going to ensure that whatever I wear to school, I'm professionally dressed. But that's not the case with everyone. So I guess it really depends on the school and the person. So yeah, really and truly,
Yeah.
there's no dress code.
It's kind of like the same in Kuwait. They dress very comfortably in Kuwait. So they will wear their sneakers and stuff
Yes.
like that to work. So at first when I came, I had my stocking and my heels and everything from Jamaica.
Well,
When I
not for
came
me.
here, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Nothing like that, right? So
Maybe it's an Asian thing.
yeah, yeah. Yes, I think it's an agent thing. They wear their sneakers, they will wear short pants and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
yeah, but not really my style, but I don't
exactly.
mind.
Like,
It's comfortable.
yeah, I don't mind comfortable at all. But for me, like wearing a shorts to school, that just seems weird.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that's all my question. If you are watching and you want to ask a question, now is the time. We are about to go right now. We're taking one last question and then we're wrapping it up. Can a person bring their child or spouse up with them?
Oh,
So if you want to
yes, you
relocate,
Yes, you can. You can definitely take your child or your spouse with you when you come. It depends on your contract as well. I think some schools they will provide probably free tuition, or you may pay 50%. It really depends on your agreement with the school as well. However, let me just go to this. I know you didn't ask, but if you
that's
take your spouse, if you take your spouse, it's not a case where your spouse can work unless, unless, but it's not a case where your spouse will be able to work here with the proper documentations. But you
okay.
definitely,
So would if I'm taking my spouse, right? Would
mhm.
he need to get the proper documentation from Jamaica? Or I can just after I have processed my stuff, he just go and get the regular visa. I book him, take him with me, and then get some documents there in China. Do you have any idea of that?
Well, I think if you do decide to take your spouse, I think when you're applying, there's a form that you fill out that states that you're taking your spouse. So there and then they can process his documents along with yours. So when you get your work permit, I think you will also get a permit or something to basically state that he will be accompanying you or whoever to China, as well as I think once you have your documents, you can also apply for maybe a visitor's visa. It depends how long you want your spouse to be in China with you, so they can apply for a visitor's visa for 6 months. I'm not sure if it is that they have beyond 6 months, but you can do either or.
Okay. All right. So, could you spell the name of your channel for me, please? Keely's World.
Okay, sure. So that's KIE
Yes.
LLIES world. So apostrophe S and then world, WORLD.
All right.
Yes. So you can, guys, you can also follow me on Instagram at Keely's_world. You can send me a message in my DM. I can answer the questions. Right now it's 9:01. So you know what that means.
Yes, Akiellia has to go, but please head over to Keely's World. I will leave the description, the link in the description. But if you can go over now and subscribe, please do so and show her some love. And you can contact
Thank
her at
you.
any time if you have any questions. Thank you so much, Akiellia, for joining
You're
us. It
you're
was a
welcome.
pleasure having you. And I hope that we can meet again in a setting similar to this in the future.
I definitely hope so. And thank you so much for having me. I hope what I said was informative and someone learned something. If it is that they plan to come to China, please, as I mentioned, send me a message. I will answer the question once I'm available. All right, guys. So,
All right,
bye.
bye. Have a good day and we'll talk. All right. Thanks to everyone
Thank
for
you.
joining us and we'll
Bye.
see you next time. Bye.